Okay, so thanks very much for having me and that presentation. I'll be quite quick because obviously we're behind on time. So my name's Jess, and as mentioned, I run a crowdfunding consultancy in England called Crowdfund 360. I've been doing this for now 3.5 years, and before that I worked at a global crowdfunding platform, and before that I worked in general marketing and fundraising. We help clients from all over the world, although unfortunately haven't helped any Hungarian clients yet, but now having seen the rise of crowdfunding in Hungary, hopefully I'll be able to help you guys as well run excellent crowdfunding campaigns with global markets. So we've run 65 campaigns and our success rate is 83%. So 83% of our clients hit or surpass their fundraising targets on crowdfunding, whereas the global average is only around 20%. So we've really worked out a strategy that actually works. We work on rewards, equity, and donation crowdfunding. And let's have a look at a range of the projects. So crowdfunding works for so many different types of projects. If we look in the top left area, we've got some tech products going down into food, electric bikes. Going across the screen, it goes into fashion, books, games. At the top, gin, beer, very popular. We've even converted buses in the past with crowdfunding. The weirdest and probably my favorite crowdfunding campaign we ever did was this one at the very bottom on the right-hand side, which is a pyramid. And some artists made this giant pyramid out of like Haribo gummy bears for Burning Man Festival. It was crazy, but it was a super fun campaign to work on. So all of these clients take the same strategy that we've got, and then we just change everything based on the content and creativity for each of their industries. And then we apply the psychology of crowdfunding on top of that. So this is our most successful rewards campaign. This is an electric bike. They've done 3 campaigns now. So they did rewards crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, and then rewards crowdfunding again. The first campaign, £392,000. The second campaign, the equity campaign, more than £1 million. And then the third campaign, £888,000 again. They had so much press coverage, BBC, Sky News, CNN, all the major global publications, and they had over 18,000 followers that built that audience that then turned into backers. Before they started work on this crowdfunding campaign, they didn't have any audience at all. They were a completely brand new company, but experts in electric bikes and willing to learn about marketing. On the equity side, we've got this campaign, our most successful equity campaign. It's an app. Apps always do better on equity than rewards. They got 116% of their funding goal. So their original goal was £750,000. They got 877. And they really relied on the social media and email marketing combined with PR, all working together. And we made that campaign a success for these guys. So our 6 steps that we recommend all of our clients follow, and hopefully you'll follow too if you're going to run a crowdfunding campaign, is going through them in this order. Everything up until communicating the campaign happens before you go live to the public, and we recommend a minimum 8-week period to do all of that. Your crowdfunding campaign, we recommend 5 weeks. And then afterwards, it's really important to follow up with all your donors so that they come back to you again and again, either to buy from you regularly or to give to your crowdfunding campaign again too. So how do we do this? How do we help? Well, we've got a range of different things. We've got an 8-part online training course, which is super popular. The average raise is £36,000. And the average raise in general on a crowdfunding campaign globally is only 33,000. So this one's really good. It's above the average raise. After the 8 weeks, you are ready to go launch your crowdfunding campaign. Combined within that, but also separately, we have our workbook where we've got all of the strategic templates and downloads that you need to fill in to succeed with your crowdfunding campaign. And we've also got our tips of the day calendar for when you're live, giving you a tip every day on how to maximize your marketing that day at that time of your campaign. On the other side, we've got our full campaign management where we just run the full campaign for you. We also run workshops, webinars like this, and in-person workshops. And we also just do general 60-minute consultations, or, a few hours here or there. If you have any questions about crowdfunding, or you potentially want to think about how we can help you, or you even looking to crowdfund with a UK market in mind, then I'm going to put my email address in the chat box. And if you've got any questions, then obviously just shoot them over to me. If I can answer them for you and save you time, then I'll gladly do that, because you are all running startups. You are all very busy with that. Learning about crowdfunding is not your key responsibility, it's mine. So just send me over an email, and if I can help you out in any way, then I will. But thank you very much for listening, and I'll hand back to Nora now.
Thank you, Jes. That was super interesting and very impressive and funny as well, as crowdfunding is fun, as you also stated. That's great. I'd have one question. You mentioned that it takes about 8 weeks to prepare, and you mentioned that bike campaign, that they had nothing before they started to work. So they had nothing before that 8 weeks. What did they do? Could you just recall a few concrete examples, and how much effort did it take from the side of the of the crowdfunding team? Was there a dedicated person, 2 persons? How many hours per day do you estimate they worked on the preparation on the campaign? And the last question is, how much shall a crowdfunder estimate about the costs of raising funds, besides of course the success fee of the platform, which is obvious and public, but above that, how much does a crowdfunding campaign cost, both in terms of efforts and in terms of money to the crowdfunder? Thank you.
Yeah, so there's a few different things. With crowdfunding, you're either going to pay in terms of money or time. So that the bike campaign, they did not want to pay with time. They wanted to launch in 4 weeks, and I was like, impossible. We need to make it at least 8. And they were like, okay, fine, we'll make it 8. But even then, they didn't have a crowd. So for them, it was really a lot of paid advertising and good Facebook ads that got them to the point that they were ready to launch in that 8 weeks. If you don't want to pay that money for the advertising, then you need to pay in time. Now, both of those situations, you need to be really, really clear on who is your target market, where are they hanging out online, what are they consuming, and what motivates them. What was really good with the Switch Bike campaign is they already knew all of this. That's probably like the key thing. So if you already know all of that, you can then create the content that your audience likes, put it in the places that your audience is hanging out in, and then you can convert them over to email addresses. You can do that completely for free. And we have oftentimes clients raising, around the £50,000 mark. And we recommend doing it for free, no ad spend. When clients are looking to raise more than the 50,000, that's when we recommend either taking more time or paying that money for the advertising. What we do not recommend is just paying for advertising and just hoping it works, because it's never going to do that. We really need to work on that target market beforehand. In terms of how long does it take and how much money are we looking to spend? Again, it depends on how much you're looking to raise. A campaign of anything between 2,000 and about 15,000, you're probably looking at spending the same amount of money. And then 15 to about 40, again, same amount of money. And then 40 till about 80,000, same amount of money. And then upwards of that, it's obviously going to increase as well. Again, what we've got to look at that is we work really hard on like networks, because most of my clients come to crowdfund because they don't have a lot of money. So then we need to really look in our network. So if you have a friend of a friend of a boyfriend of a mom that makes films, great. Like, we can ask them, we can utilize their skills, and we can probably get some discount on it. But if you're coming at it and you don't want to call in any favors, then you're going to be spending money. So usually films are probably going to be between around £3,000 and £10,000. Again, depending on levels of animation, so apps and things that need animating obviously cost more. PR, we always do our PR for free. But again, if you're looking for that kind of faster launch and to use influencers and to use paid PR, again, you're looking at increasing that amount of money. And then advertising during the campaign itself, you know, Facebook ads, paid advertising doesn't work very well unless you've already hit 60% of your fundraising target. Because like no one goes into an empty restaurant, right? If there's 2 restaurants and one's really full and one's empty, you always go in the full one, even though you maybe need to wait longer. So it's the same psychology with crowdfunding. Once you've got that crowd in there, other people start giving. And when you're paying for those, you know, adverts to be shown wider, they don't know you. So it's going to take them longer and they're going to need more trust in your brand, which means you need, you know, 60% funding hit already.
Great. Just the last more word about the, in general, about the UK crowdfunding market. How many platforms are there that you're aware of?
Oh, in the UK, like major platforms, there's probably like 5 to 7 major platforms. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of kind of like niche ones which come and go.
Mm-hmm. And do you work with all of them, or do you also pick the right platform for your client?
Yeah, so all the major platforms know us, know our campaigns, and like, you know, work well with us. But with the clients that we work with, we always choose the platform that's going to be best for them. It might be a US-based platform if they've got a global audience, or it might be a UK-based platform if, you know, there are some things that work in their favor. Like, for example, even sometimes which city the client is in, if that crowdfunding platform has an office in that city, they're going to be more biased to work well with that campaign rather than if the city of the crowdfunding platform is far away. So we play on these small things as well.